Hello and welcome to all those people who have just found my channel and to all those who are returning. You are very welcome and I love to hear from you, so please don't forget to send in your comments. They are helpful and much appreciated. It is Sunday the 18th of March in Australia and we are still celebrating the new moon event. Of course, the dark of the moon, which was yesterday for us, is followed by the new moon of today. So we are still held firmly within the energies of the new moon, which of course means it is the perfect opportunity for releasing those things which we have no longer any use for, but also more importantly we have the opportunity of setting the intention and the affirmations to welcome in, to grow what we wish to have within our life in the next period of time. It's a great idea to write these down. Some people prefer to burn them, some prefer to keep them so that they can refer back to them and see how they have changed, how they have developed, how they have managed to get to this point. It also helps, of course, if you make a note of the steps that you are willing to take to assist the universe in being a co-creator in this manifestation. Now, it was one of the things that Metatron wanted me to talk about today. I wasn't planning on doing a video, but Metatron gave me a nudge and said it is time for me to do it. It is an extremely powerful portal at the moment, and I've said that in past videos. It is still even more relevant now. And so that I get everything right that I want to say, I want to ask Metatron to come close. So I'm using my Flame Metatron spray and asking Metatron to please be with us, to come close, to give us inspiration and his words of advice. Metatron is always ready to give us words of advice, to help us recognize the way that we need to go. As he points out, it is not for him to decide every step that we take, but he is there to guide, and he is there to give us the nudge that we need if we are not sure of what we're doing. And he smiles as he says, sometimes it is a big push. Sometimes we need the big push in order to make the step that we need to take. The important ingredient in all of this is faith. We need to have faith in ourselves, in the universe, in God, and that we are progressing and becoming more firmly aligned in a fifth dimensional consciousness where unconditional love and acceptance and what he's saying is a way of peace. And the picture that he's given me is of the feelings that were there when at the end of the Cold War the wall came down. There was rejoicing at that time as it signified that the world had actually taken a huge step back from annihilation, that America and Russia were not actively poised any longer in their climb to see which one of them would reach the peak and be the number one force to be reckoned with. And we have been given over the years many people who have willingly sacrificed their lives to bring us the story, the information that we need, that it is not necessary to be the number one. In fact, what he's saying is very different. He is saying Metatron says it is important to remember that being number one, he's showing me a picture of the top dog, being the number one, being acclaimed as the voice, the foremost expression of any particular thing, is not always the best thing that we can be or we can aspire to be for the benefit of others. That there are many people at the present time who are shining the light, shining his light, shining the light of creation, of the universe, for the betterment of everyone, not just a small group of people, not just one country, but all people, all men and women, children, the planet and everything on the planet are as important as each other. And we must remember that if we undertake to become a light bearer, that if we agree to be a way shower, that we must do so with determination to push through, which he helps with, but to retain the knowledge, the understanding, and the way of the heart. And I felt the presence of Mary Magdalene all day. And I thought she was going to be the one that I was going to make the next video about, and it will come. But she has stepped forward, and she wants to remind us that above all, we must remember that it is love which will transcend and triumph over everything. She has asked me to use Archangel Chamuel spray, bringing in the pink ray of love and compassion. And she asks that at this time when we are receiving so much light from the universe, from the cosmos, as we lead up into this incredibly potent portal, which is the period of Easter. And she also reminds me that whilst it has become so connected with Easter in a Christian sense, we must remember that both the time and the place are significant within ancient cultures. She is bringing forth Merlin to stand with her to represent the early shamanic and alchemical ways and beings, and there is such a the energy is so intense. There is a crowd of people. I can hear Saint Germain. I can hear the ancient gods, the ancients of the trees, of the land, of the sea. All of these have been put here for us and have had their day of understanding, of at times worship, and some at times glory. They want us to realize that this period, this time, is a portal of light which occurs every year. It symbolizes, represents, and it honors all faiths, all creeds, and all times. And it is this reason that it is so powerful, so important, not just for one thing. Because this time is so filled with energy that is coming in to the earth, to us, we are bringing it down. We are asked to sit in contemplation, sit in knowingness, and be willing to be receptive to the energies, to the light which is coming to us, and willingly bring it down through our higher chakras into our bodies, down through our bodies, all the way down into Mother Earth, and making the grand connection between the central sun, the cosmos, God, all the way down through us and to Mother Earth. And therefore we can shine this light out from our hearts to others. This is the way we can be the beacons, the messengers for light, for love, which is here for all. The light coming in as it cleanses and lifts, it is cutting away the negativity, and in some cases the real darkness that has been held within in this lifetime and in lifetimes past. The light, if we accept this, the light can cut away the cords that have held this darkness in place, and the darkness will therefore rise, and in its rising it will bring forward emotions and feelings that we may not have been aware of, that we may have had an awareness of but have been trying to keep down. But these emotions, these feelings will come up, and we need to be free and let them go. Okay. Metatron wants me to share a short version of the story of why I didn't think I was going to make this video. Yesterday was a very difficult day. It was a day of revelation for me. and not a day of happy revelation. I, for the first time, saw people I thought I knew in a light which I had always kept turned down. I didn't want to see them any differently. I didn't want to believe they were different. But I found out that there are times when you cannot rely on people. You cannot ask some people for help, even though you may think that these would be the very people who would always be there to help if you needed it. And because of that, firstly, I'd like to spray the water elemental, because the water elemental speaks directly to our emotions, and it allows those emotions to rise and to flow, and we can transmute them. It's a beautiful spray. It's a beautiful spray of joy and of lightness. And it helps those emotions to rise to the surface, to be acknowledged, and to be able to let them go. Sometimes we have to deal with things, we have to deal with things in ways that we had not anticipated. Metatron is telling me that his hand is always held out towards us. We can always take his hand, and he will strengthen us, and he will lead us through whatever pain we may be going through. So he's going to draw a couple of cards now before I go on, to get some indication of what's happening in this particular period that we can look at before we reach the Easter period. And the first one that we've got is the loyal heart. And as I look at that, I see two beautiful owls, king and queen, and they're sitting atop an egg which holds a heart. It is important for everyone to be able to look into the heart, to be able to look into the cards and see what it is telling them. To me, it speaks of loyalty, devotion, support, and unquestioning love. The next one that came up is why, but it is reversed. So that's the card, why. Why is a question that we ask ourselves often. Sometimes we have an answer and sometimes we don't. Sometimes it feels like a torment. And the third one is by the book, a little elephant caravan. So what do these three tell me together? Loyal heart, why, and by the book. Why has been reversed. What it is telling me is that it is so important at this time to keep in mind what is real, what is needed, and how we're to be guided. The why reversed, which if you look at is a young girl reaching towards the open book, or a book, actually a winged book, and she's wanting answers. And then we have by the book, which seems symbolic considering she's got the book, but the why card is reversed. What this is telling me is that we're being asked at this time to reach deep, to find within us the loyalty within our hearts that will help us to move forward. But it is not always necessary to have the why answered for us immediately. Sometimes we have to just simply trust. We're going by the book, in effect. By the book, something that is always done, something that is something that is a natural occurrence, something that is repeated. So we're being asked to allow love to triumph, allow loyalty to become important again, to stop necessarily asking, why should you do this? Why should you help someone? Sometimes it is simply that because of the love, because of the loyalty, because of the togetherness of a couple, of family, of a nation, of a world, of humanity itself, that the love doesn't need an explanation. It is simply something that needs to be allowed to flow. In the same way that we need to allow our emotions to flow at the moment, no matter how painful they may be, that we will be able to do this, and we will be able to be fully prepared for the portal at Easter, which allows that great influx of light. It seems today all of the archangels wanted to come in. So I have Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael with his great wings. He says there is no need to call him, he's always here. We just need to speak his name and he will be there for us. All we have to do is envisage his wings wrapping around us. Feel the warmth, feel the protection, feel the security and the love. They all love us so greatly and are waiting for us each time we need them. There is no need, he tells me, to actually call anyone. A thought is enough. Our thoughts are powerful. we must be aware of our thoughts as we are aware of our actions, because our thoughts will create tomorrow's reality. Today's reality becomes tomorrow's reality if that is what we think, if that is how we think. If we wish to co-create with the universe, with God, with Creator, with Source, if we wish to be part of the co-creation of our future of life, then we must first think in the way that we wish things to be. We have to have a loyal heart, and we have to follow a tried and true recipe. What I'm being shown is, it's actually Merlin is standing there with a cauldron in front of him, and he is pulling elements out of the air that he needs. And into the cauldron they go, and they are stirring around. And from the cauldron comes this beautiful geyser of gold. And he smiles and he says, this is what most people will think of when they are asked if they want to create their future. They will want gold, because they feel gold creates the riches they need. The gold represents all that is beautiful and strong and able to give rise to everything that humans, people, the world needs. He's drawing a line down from his cauldron of gold, bubbling gold, down into the center of the earth, to the molten core. He said, this is the cauldron of creation, the center of our earth, where molten magma bubbles like the gold in a cauldron, like any metal that is turned into another object. This is where the cauldron of life begins. This is where life can begin. If we bring this energy up and allow it to become part of everything that is, then we can create true change, the alchemy of the human being, the human spirit. We can become that which we came here to be. We can become the spirit on earth that we can be, that we will be in the next life. Okay, next. We will have a little message, and then we'll do a little healing on what's happening at the moment to help people through this tumultuous time and prepare them for what is coming. And remember that what is coming this Easter time is not to be feared. This portal of light comes each year. We have been graced this year by the fact Metatron says that we have a full moon at the end of this month, which is, of course, he reminds me, the second one this month, so it is a blue moon. We have another full moon, so we have another time of intense, immense light influx into the world, and it is followed immediately afterwards by the beginning of Easter, which is a huge light portal anyway. So we have the new moon. We also have in Australia we have the autumnal equinox. In the northern hemisphere it is the summer vernal equinox, and then immediately thereafter, or 10 days thereafter, we have a full moon and we have Easter. So this new moon, which was in Pisces, so hence the emotional element to it, has been incredibly moving and important for everyone. So we'll have a couple of cards here. So we have first, I'll pull actually what I'll do. First one we have is the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. So what we're asked to do is to absorb the knowledge that is around, that we are being sent, to assimilate this, so that we actually become, by assimilating all of the knowledge that is coming into us, we become this being of light. The second card we have is initiation by air, which is so apt at the moment. Initiation by air. You can see the flowing of light down into the heart chakra, flowing down into the earth. It's coming, it's like an internal sun that is coming and being lit, and it is changing the beautiful colors around it. So we have the light again streaming to come in. And finally we have past life initiation. Past life activation, I'm sorry. What we are doing with all of this light that's coming in is that we are able to send this light back through our genetic line, our karmic line, our ancestral line. We are able to send it down through all our past lives to activate the past lives, but to activate the light that is there, so we are able to bring the light down into the past lives, and also to be able to raise this light up. So we are releasing the karma, the negativity, all the hurt, the pain and sorrow that we may have felt in this life, in past lives, and we are able to use the light from our intellectual knowledge, and we're asked, and also the initiation by air, to create the past life activation that releases the negativity that we are encountering and releasing now. Now is the time to spray Archangel Zadkiel, transmutation and forgiveness. We must always remember that when we release these emotions that are flowing so strongly at the moment, we also need to acknowledge those persons who may have triggered those emotions, and to not only to forgive them, but to forgive ourselves. So we are transmuting all the negative energy that is coming up, and we are transmuting it into light. And the light is coming through ever more strongly, and it is growing day by day. Day by day. So I want to see if Metatron has anything further he wants me to say. He's saying not to worry. We needn't worry about what's happening. Trust. Trust the process. Allow things to flow. Be ready to forgive. Forgive yourself. And remember, above all else, that you are not responsible for the way in which others behave or act, what they say or do. You are responsible for yourself, and I will help you if you wish me to. So I'd like to finish now by spraying Archangel Raphael for healing. Healing for everyone who is having difficulty at this moment in time with the emotions that are coming up. And of course, Archangel Raphael's bottle is green also, which is like the water bottle, the water element. So he helps with the emotions, he helps the healing, he helps everything to flow. And release. And when we have finished with the release, when we have finally managed to allow all of this to come through, we remember that Archangel Jophiel, beauty and joy, but also in this instance, she says also sunlight and love. And we are asked to remember that we are never alone. They are always here, they are near, they are simply a thought away. And you are asked to get outside if you can, into nature or just into your own garden, to breathe in the positive energy the growing plants emit always, to see the sunshine or the rain, the night sky. Before I go, I would like to just quickly mention, because it is so important at the moment, is that in the north of Queensland, where I live, North Queensland, they are suffering, they are at the moment being battered by a cyclone. There's massive flooding, loss of houses, people who are the essential services people who are working and helping and rescuing those who are stranded or in danger. It is going on all the time. And down in the other side, at the other end of the country in South Australia, we have massive bushfires that have been caused by lightning strikes. 3 huge bushfires that they're concerned will join up, that has burnt out thousands of hectares of land, many homes, and there are firefighters and emergency services people who are putting their life on the line right now. And I'd like everyone to actually remember that wherever you are, wherever in the world, whenever anything happens, we always have these people who are willing to step forth. They put their hand up and they say, I will help, I will be there, I will do this for you. As we are the way showers and light bearers in spiritual as well as in a physical sense, because we are embodying the new way, the fifth dimensional way of unconditional love, they too are showing their own love and care and concern by putting their lives at risk for others. And we must never forget to thank them, whoever they are, wherever they are, for doing the best job that they can do in any given time. So for all those people who have lost their lives in the last few months, all those people who are yet to lose their lives because it is their time, the emergency services people who help, we thank them. We thank the souls who have come to give us a lesson that we need at the moment, and we look forward to this great portal that's coming. And I will come back with another, I'm told possibly one or two videos for the Easter light portal. So until then, I wish everyone safety, love and security, and the knowledge that they are always held in my heart with love. Many blessings. Much love to you all. Thank you and goodbye. Details of my website and my Facebook page and so on will be underneath this video, including the cards that I have used today and the sprays. And from all the archangels who are here, from all the ascended masters who are here, and from all the ancient gods and goddesses who are here, they all wish to send their love, their strength and support to everyone, whoever they are, whatever you actually believe or think, they are here. And they all, it's a huge outpouring of love and support for us. And it is here now, and it is for you to take. So until then, till next time, many blessings and take care.